Hey, what's going on everybody? Chad from Wisco Boater. Today it's time to paint the interior of the tugboat. I've got a batch of textured white paint mixed up. Not mixed up, it's just a one part. I'm using RTG Supply Company. This is Deck, Porch, and Patio Anti-Slip Paint. Exterior traction coating. Textured finish, provides sure footing. It's an easy to use formula, dries fast for decks, patios, porches, stairs, walkways, and more. The "and more" part is important because on the website it does say that it works well for interior boats, the interior of boats. So that's what I'm going to use. So got a batch made up there, and I bought 2 quarts of it. I think that'll be enough to do the interior, the top of the roof, and probably the front deck. We'll see. Alright. So what I've done so far is I've acetone wiped using Sunnyside acetone, Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, any of them have acetone. I've wiped down everything from the bench forward. So I'm going to start with the front shelf here, do the inside of that, and then come up to the top inside here, do all the inside, and then do the floor, and then I'll acetone wipe everything from the bench seat back. Got a 9-inch, 3/8-inch pile roller, a 3-inch, 3/8-inch, and a chip brush. Yeah, I'm not liking this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's just separating, kind of moving away from the fiberglass, or not the fiberglass, but the epoxy. So I might just let this dry and then see what happens by maybe putting a coat of primer over the top of it. I've got some kills, but if this is the case, I'm gonna need a lot more kills than what I currently have. Alright, well this is going to be take 2 on this. The textured paint didn't really take all that well. So I'm going to leave the shelf area for now. And I've got some Kills adhesion primer here. And I'm going to go over the inside cabin structure. This is all the paint I have for adhesion primer at this point. But I can get it locally, so I'll do what I can tonight and then go buy some more. Hold on, I got music playing, hold on. Well, that is Kills Adhesion Primer. One of the great things about it is you can kind of just be reckless with it. it doesn't really matter because it's going to be top coated. So you can just kind of go over everything with a roller or a brush and just lightly coat it. It sticks to bare epoxy fiberglass very, very well, and it'll be ready for a top coat of white non-skid at some point. More tomorrow. All right, well, tonight's update comes from a finished first coat of adhesion primer. Chose not to video this just because it's kind of boring, just making it all white. I'll definitely video the paint when I get to the colors, but I'm just putting white adhesion primer on it. Not really necessary to video this, so. But it turned out really good. Adhesion primer, as I mentioned before, you just kind of sloppily put it on and it bonds where it will bond, and there's gonna be spots like right up in here where the paint just moves away from different spots. And you just gotta let it dry, and the next coat, whether it's actual paint or some additional primer, will cover that up. So all of the inside is done as well. And I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I decided to use Sherwin-Williams, let's see here, I'll show you. It's Extreme Primer, which is exceptional adhesion for hard to stick surfaces. It is a latex paint. Even if I do buy some topside paint, it'll stick over this just fine. The bottom paint is important, obviously. It's pretty cool to see it all white, no more exposed wood. And hopefully tomorrow, depending on how things go with the other boat, I've got to wash and wax it. But I'll see if I can get another coat of primer on this and maybe go buy some colors. Looking really awesome. Okay, so I got the tugboat with 2 coats of primer on it, including the inside. The floors only have 1 coat because I'm gonna use some padding to cover up the floor so it's comfortable on feet. So those only need 1 coat of primer, but right now I'm going to put the textured paint up on the roof and on the front deck. So it's white paint going on white paint, so you're not really gonna see a whole lot, but I thought I'd go ahead and record it. Okay, the white on the top of the roof is done. Get in a good angle here, you can see the texture. It's a sandy texture. Doing this just to have a little bit of grip on the roof. And then on the deck, it's just because the deck was gonna be white anyway. And I've got plenty of this textured paint, so that's all done. So white finished. Again, the roof is going to be white, the deck is white, and the interior is white. Pilot house is going to be red, and the rest of the hull is going to be black. And both my red and black are arriving tomorrow. So I will be painting the hull black first to get that done. Then I will finish out the red paint and maybe get back in there a little bit, because you can kind of see up in there's a little bit of an eyesore at this point. But everything on the inside is done. And I did get, let me show you this. This is a battery gauge, basically the fuel gauge for the tugboat. And it's gonna go in that hole right there. I'll run 2 wires off of the batteries. So all I gotta do is look back and see how much time we have left on the water. So I think that'll be it for this segment of painting. Oh, I primed the rear bench seat. Still gotta do the bottom side. Bottom, just gonna get just a real quick 1 coat of primer, and then I'll put that back in place as well. So be awesome to see some color on this thing tomorrow. It is topside paint time for the tugboat. I've got it remasked. I removed the bottom layer of painter's tape yesterday just to make sure that white line was nice and crisp all the way around. So I redid that. I've got this already masked off for the red that's going to go on the pilot house. So everything is masked off. The stem is masked off on the inside. That's going to be black. Going all the way around here. Everything's masked off as well. I'm going to bring the black right over the top. I don't really feel like I need to mask off the inside along here because I should be able to just bring the roller or brush just right up over the edge there. And not have to worry about that. Actually, I probably should put a piece of tape right there because that's gonna stay white. But otherwise, I've got the black, thick black paint ready to go. So I'll set the camera up and paint the sides. All right, here is the paint I'm using. It is Rust-Oleum topside paint, marine coating. This is gloss black, and I've already got it poured out, so let's get to going. Well, there is one side, 1 coat. Got a little bit of detail work to do with a brush. I'm hoping that 1 quart is enough. I still have some in the tray to go around the back side and a little over a half of a quart left. Fingers crossed that's enough. I really thought that a quart would be plenty from past experiences, but I don't know if this black is going to cover as well as I had hoped it would, so I'll show you the rest when it's done. Sweet. Good news and gooder news, better news. The good news is first coat is done. The better news is I have plenty left out of that quart. The problem I was looking at to begin with was how long it took the paint to actually soak into the roller. And I thought it wasn't going to coat sufficiently. Once the paint actually got into the roller, it started to coat very, very nicely. So it is definitely going to take 2 coats to do it. But I have plenty left, and I also have to paint the rub rail pieces. So those will get done a little bit later. But I think right now, since the black has to dry overnight before I put the next coat on, I'm gonna move on to the red and get this thing looking pretty dang sweet. All right, Rust-Oleum topside, bright red is next. Okay, here we are with first coat of red complete. I went up under the roof here in the front. I was gonna keep it white, but then I thought it looked a little bit better if the red just kind of flowed into the underside of the roof. So this is how it's gonna look. This will be the final colors. The intention here, and the reason that I did this color combination, is there is a tugboat up in Sturgeon Bay in Door County, Wisconsin, called the John Purvis. And since we're gonna keep our other boat up in Sturgeon Bay, I thought I might take this little boat up there every once in a while and kind of run it up and down the river and maybe get some pictures with the John Purvis. These are the colors of that tugboat. All right, so this is the John Purvis tugboat. And the cool thing about this, where this tugboat is, this is the Door County Maritime Museum. And the whole line of tugboats here, those are actually working tugboats down there. But there's the Michigan Street Bridge. And right on the other side of the Michigan Street Bridge, you can see underneath there a bunch of boats. That's the marina where the big boat will be kept. So there you go. There's some actual live video of the John Purvis tugboat. It's 100 years old. It just turned 100 years old last week. And that's where my inspiration for the mini tug Nep'Toon is coming from. Coming back to my tugboat, I ordered today some white trim to put around all these windows, so that'll match that. I will put some rope fenders on this, and probably put the name Nep'Toon up on the front of the bow. The registration numbers are gonna have to go right there, but maybe right in there, put the name of the tugboat. I also will be putting the name of the tugboat across the stern, but that's the reason for the colors. And you know, it's obviously not going to match perfectly, but I thought this looked good. This was a good idea in the red, black, and white. So I'm really looking forward to getting the next coats of red and black on, and then removing the painter's tape so we can get a real good idea of what this will look like. All right, so we are getting ready to put the tugboat back on the trailer. We got the neighbors and their kids coming over to help me move the tugboat and the trailer. So here we go. They're coming over right now. Yep.
I'm just gonna try one and see if it makes an appreciable difference.
We need to make sure to knock the jacks out of the way though.
Yep.
As we're moving it.
Okay. So is it front, front, and back?
See, the hard part is it's all smooth, so you literally are just...
1, 2, 3. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Right? Yeah. I feel like you guys have most of the way if you want to move forward.
Can I get on that side?
Forward or put the trailer on the
Wait, because there's still one. There's still one.
Up tight to the, yep, bumper. Yep.
Very cool.
There you go.
Did you make this little trailer too?
It was a kit.
Oh yeah. Maroonish. Maroon.
Heads up.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Only back on that side.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So there's a tugboat in Door County.
Yeah.
Am I going this
Do you
way?
have that picture yet?
Yeah. Right there's good. Right there's good. Actually.
Can you make me one for daycare? It's cute.
Just put it like a moped so I can drive it to work.
All right.
Chad, could you take us out for boat ride?
Actually,
Yeah.
it's heavy, but it's not that.
Yeah, we can go for a boat ride.
On that boat.
Yeah.
I'd rather take a big boat ride.
If your mom and dad are okay with it.
Daddy, Daddy,
Yeah.
are you
It's like in
okay
cartoons,
with
you
us
get a big
on
smile.
Picture it
And
sounding
I
like
am
somebody
not.
from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Chad,
Yeah.
could you call us when you...
And Nep'Toon is now back on the trailer. Looks great, sits nice. So I'm gonna wrap up this portion of the video series for Nep'Toon. It's all painted except the rub rails, which I will do next, and I will include that in the next segment, which I will just call trim and finishing pieces, which is going to be the fenders, some rope trim, window trim, rub rails, maybe even putting the name on it and registration numbers if they come in soon enough. So until next time, thanks for watching the Wisco Boater channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want to be notified when I put out a new video. Leave me some comments, always like to hear from everybody. And we'll see you next time on Wisco Boater. Happy boating, everybody. Thanks for watching.